You will make bad art. As an artist, you have to accept that and just deal with it. You will make bad art, and it's okay. We all do. I can 100% promise you that every artist in the world has made bad art. Art that they think is bad, maybe also art that other people think is bad, but that's, eye of the beholder type of thing. But when you, as the artist, hate your own art, or not necessarily all of your art, but just that one piece that you're maybe currently working on and you really, really are struggling with, and you really don't like it, and you're not enjoying the process, and you just want to throw it in the garbage, it's okay if you do. I have done it many times. I have just, especially pieces, not pieces on canvas, but pieces on paper. If I don't like the piece, I literally just throw it in the trash and nobody ever sees it. So that's why you've probably never seen or haven't seen a lot of my pieces that are bad, that I think are bad, online, because I'm not going to post them. They're already on in the landfill. so let's talk about just how to decide when your art is bad, what to do about it, and that kind of stuff. So, I want you to ask yourself, when you're working on a piece that you don't like, what do you dislike about it? What do you hate about it? What would you change? Try to figure out why you're struggling with the piece so much. Is it the colors? Is it the composition? Is it um, the supplies you're using? Maybe it's the medium you're working with. Maybe it's a medium that you're not very familiar with, and you can't seem to work it out. Maybe you made a mistake, and depending on what medium you're using, maybe it's really, really hard to cover it up or to kind of fix it. And especially with watercolors or anything that is see through like that, it's very hard to fix it once you kind of screw up a little bit. So ask yourself that, is it something that can be salvaged and worked with, or is it something that really, really can't be solved and you have to start from scratch because you really messed up? So ask yourself that first. The second question is, or not a question, but a suggestion, is to sleep on it. Especially artists like me who work late at night after the kids have gone to bed. I was painting this painting probably around midnight and I was really tired and I just didn't like where it was going. I didn't like the colors. I didn't necessarily like the composition. I felt like I didn't like it being vertical. I wanted it to be more horizontal. The buildings were looking too small. I just couldn't figure out what to do with it and how to fix it. So I decided to completely scratch it and start over. I did not sleep on it. My suggestion to you is to sleep on it, or at least think about it a little bit before you commit to covering it up with gesso or throwing it out or something like that, or ripping it apart. Um, so, what I would suggest is take a break, either go for a walk, go watch a movie, go take a bath, a shower, or go to sleep if it's really late, like it was for me. Or just wait till the next day, just kind of sleep on it, just wait it out. But also put the piece in a room where you're going to see it for the next few hours, um, just so that it could be in the room with you. You can glance at it from time to time, and that's how you're going to know what to change. It's going to tell you. The painting is going to tell you. I know this sounds cheesy and kind of woo woo, but if you have that painting, let's say, on your kitchen wall, and you're making dinner or sitting at the table and eating your dinner and you're staring at this piece and you keep looking at it and you keep evaluating it, maybe it'll jump to you, like the what's wrong with it. It'll come to you. You'll know, oh no, it's the color. I really hate the color. Or no, it's the composition. I really don't like the composition. Or it's something else. Whatever it is, try to give yourself some time to really think about it before you commit to gessoing over it, because once you do that, there's no undo button. Maybe it is if you're doing digital art and you start a new canvas in Procreate and you start a new illustration, that's okay because you can always go back to the old one. But if you're working with actual paint or paper or canvas, there's really no going back. So really be sure you want to do it, especially on large pieces that are going to take you a long time to redo. Now, if you do decide to gesso over it, it's okay. First of all, you don't have to share it with anybody. You don't have to post it on social media that you gessoed over a piece. I know I have in the past. I think a couple years ago I posted a painting and I was gessoing over it because I just didn't like it. And a lot of people were freaked out. They were like, "I don't understand. Why would you do that? That painting was beautiful. You just needed to keep working on it." But the thing is, we just sometimes can't keep working on it when we really, really don't like it or we don't know where to take it, like how to make it better. We don't know what it's going to look like in the end. We don't have that vision for it because we just really don't like it. Um, so if you need to gesso over it, it's okay. I'm here for you. I'm all for it. I've done it multiple, multiple times. Um, and it is what it is. Sometimes you just can't connect with your painting, and that's totally, totally fine. And I'm here to assure you that every single artist I know has made bad art. I've heard them talking about it. I've seen them do the same thing I'm doing because we can't always save a piece. We can't always love a piece that we thought we would love. And paintings, they're not forever. It's not like you can't start a painting over. You can do it again. You can create it exactly the same if you feel like it, or you can make major changes to it. Like for instance, this one, the only thing I changed was I made it horizontal. I will brighten up the sky a little bit, and the yellows aren't as vibrant as they were before. But other than that, I pretty much kept the same thing. I just changed it a little bit, and I feel so much better about this. Just the change from being vertical to horizontal just made the difference for me personally. I really like it better this way. You can always start a new piece. So instead of throwing it out, ripping it apart, or gessoing over it, try to just start a new one. Take another canvas or another piece of paper and just start it again. And then if that second one doesn't really turn out the way you thought it was gonna, you can always go back to the first one. But once you gesso over it, there's no undo button, like I said. So that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to tell you that you're not alone in this. And every time you make a bad piece of art, you're learning from it. You're taking mental notes. You are figuring out what you don't like about it. Maybe you figured out that every time you work in watercolors, you just absolutely hate all your pieces. Maybe that's a sign to not work in watercolors. Whatever it is, there's always a lesson, guys. Every failed painting, every bad piece of art that you absolutely hate is a lesson. There is a lesson in there. You just have to look for it and don't feel bad. I know it feels so horrible when you worked on a piece for a couple hours and you just can't make it work. You just really don't like it and you gesso over it and you feel like that time is wasted, but it's not wasted. You learned. You learned what to do. You learned what not to do. You learned what you don't like and what you like, and you will make better art in the future for that. So for every piece of bad art you make, there's better pieces coming in the future because you're already learning through it. So don't feel bad. I know it sucks sometimes. A lot of times, especially for us moms who can only paint when the kids are either at school or playing something very nicely and you have some spare time to paint either at night after they're asleep or when they're busy doing something else. It's precious time. And when we spend hours on a painting that we just don't like and we have to gesso over it and we have to start from scratch, it just feels like such a It feels so bad because all that precious time is literally gone. But just know that you are learning from every bad piece of art. You're learning. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to go and make dinner for my children who are being super quiet because I bribed them. So I'm going to go and see what they are up to because, as you know, a quiet house with kids is not a good sign. They're probably up to something. So, have a good rest of the week, and I hope you enjoy the rest of these 12 days of Christmas paintings. They all will be available on my website, so make sure you check that out below in the description. There's a link to my website, and sign up for the newsletter if you want to be notified of when these pieces are coming out. All right, bye.